thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us at the Imola round of the FIM Superbike World Championship, of course, the Service Italian round. My name is Michael Hill. Alongside me today, I'm proud to say I have a commentary debut for Mr. Kyle Smith, of course, riding for the Pata Honda. And this is, of course, the Pata European Junior Cup. Kyle, welcome.
Hi, yeah, it's the first time for me up in the commentary booth, so it's a new experience again for me.
Absolutely. Well, as we can see on screen, the crowd, and what a packed crowd we've had here at Imola today. The sun is beating down on the youngsters. The youngest riders, of course, to take part in any race of the World Superbike weekend, starting at 14. And Kyle, as of course you know from mentoring these riders at the tests, the boys can race up to the age of 21 and the girls up to the age of 23. And there are some fast kids out there.
Yeah, I think, you know, Javier Oriana last year, well, the past 2 years has been, you know, front runner and just missed out on the championship. And this year he's won the first 2 rounds. So, yeah, very interesting to see how the race turns out.
Absolutely, and as Steve Day and Greg Haynes were saying in commentary for the other races today, we've had some crackers today. We're looking on screen, or we were a few moments ago, at the number 58 rider, the Italian Emanuele Puchedu, and I don't know if you saw alongside him there, of course, number 51 is, of course, Matteo Cipretti, his first front row start. But going back to Puchedu, who's on the pole position, he has a little character, a little cuddly toy, which is a replica of Sid from Ice Age, and that's a present, Kyle, given to him by his mum and dad, because they don't travel with him. He actually just travels with the team, teammate to Giuseppe de Gruttola, who's actually starting on the second row in 4th, as we briefly have a look at Guillaume Raymond. But a nice little cuddly toy, and he's been on the podium twice, and then this cuddly toy just seems to appear. I mean, I don't know whether he actually does the whole race with it tucked in his leathers, but anything like that ever you? A bit of superstition going on?
No, I'm not that superstitious. I think everybody in the world is a little bit superstitious when it comes down to something so serious as bike racing. But I'm not the most superstitious rider out there for sure. And I don't know. I think everybody has to be a little bit superstitious. It's no problem to be so, yeah.
Absolutely, everybody has their little quirks, and the warm-up lap begins. So again, we come to the grid a little bit live because of the prolonged Superstock 1000 podium. Let's run you through the grid then, and as I speak, the graphic comes up. Emanuele Puchedu then from Italy on pole position. Alongside him, fellow Italian Matteo Cipretti. He was a wild card last year, and Cipretti has had 2 6th places. Third on the grid, Guillaume Raymond, previous front row here when, of course, we ran the CBR 500s. Row 2 is Giuseppe de Gruttola, Paolo Grassi. 4 Italians in the top 6. Alongside him will be the number 38, Hannes Suma, in 6th position. The grid goes through the graphics a little bit quicker than me, Kyle, so just as well I'm not actually not a championship for this, because I don't think I'd be scoring many points. But row 3 is Javier Oriana, as you said, Kyle, the championship leader. 2 victories from the first 2 races. He was a little bit disappointed in qualifying, felt he got held up. Alongside Orellana on row 3 will be the Frenchman Dorian Laville. Alongside him will be Mika Perez, the number 9, another one of the Spanish riders. Back to row 4 is Alfonso Coppola, Ilan Fernandez, and the top British rider, Stefan Hill. And of course, Carl, you spend a lot of time with these riders. Stefan Hill, a bit of a cheeky chap, bit of a character.
Yeah, he's definitely not shy. He's not a shy character. And you know, I think if he gets a good start, this is, you know, could be one of his best race results here. So, you know, good luck to him.
Absolutely. The warm-up lap then continuing through the Aqua Minerale and going up through the chicane. Let's run you through some of the other riders and featured runners to watch out for. We're back now onto row number 5, the number 69 rider, Josh Harland. He's taken victory in the European Junior Cup in various races, been on the podium. Struggled a little bit with a few technical problems in qualifying. 13th, expect him to charge through. Alongside him, number 74 in 14th will be Jamie van Sikkelrus from the Netherlands, and Sam Wilford, the number 3 rider, who has been going faster and faster in every session. Back onto row 6, Doran Loureiro, Thomas Cassano, and the youngest rider in 18th, riding for out of South Africa, but now living in Spain, Troy Bezuidenhout, and he's got some spanking new leathers this weekend. I don't know if you've seen them, but you can certainly see him coming.
No, I've not seen him, but you know, it's a little bit difficult because they're all on the same bike, and it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, hopefully they don't reckon, because I think in this category they're not shy of crashing. So
no, absolutely. You know. We've and again the chicane we just seen, the last chicane, we saw a 6-rider pile up there a couple of years ago, so it could be all action to the end. A shout out before we get the green light then, or the red light going out. The fastest of the lady competitors, the current leader of the FIM Women's European Cup, and that is Avalon Biddle, number 21 appropriately, in 21st. Very fast young lady indeed. She was running in 7th, Kyle, at Assen before she had a bit of a spill. Victoria Kiss from Hungary qualified in 27th, and Anastasia Kovalenko in 29th. Keep an eye out also for the number 5 rider from Canada, Braden Ort, making a comeback after he had a skiing accident, I believe, or a snowboarding accident in the winter. He's going to start from 25th. And a shout out as well, we've got a number of Greek followers watching us, so hello to all of you watching in Greece, qualifying respectively in 19th and 28th. The two brothers, Dimitris and Nikos Karakostas. Okay, let's watch for the lights. It's a 9-lap race. Into gear we go. The marshal runs for his life, because I certainly wouldn't want to stand there. We wait for the lights. They're on. And the third round of the PATA European Junior Cup is go. A great start from Pechedu, and what a start. That is a whole shot and a half, Kyle.
Yeah, I think really good start. Hopefully can hold it into first corner. It's a tricky one, so...
And a great lunge, and that just shows you the experience there. Do they all make it safely through? There's a bit of bumping and boring as they go through, but miraculously we get through. And number 90, the 96 rider, Javier Olana, just showed his experience there. His 3rd or 4th year in the championship, and a great lunge, and he's already up to 3rd.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good race for him. Look, he's making a move there into second. So, yeah, just wait and see.
Okay, so we head up to the hairpin for the first time. Pechedu in the league, De Gracia, and
look inside there.
Absolutely looking on the inside, and he was buoyed, of course, by the second position that he took at Aragon. So a packed field of riders. All 29 are still on the track, all still running, and we'll have a little look and try and count them through. So it's 58 from 96 from, and that was close, but it looks like Orellana is still there in second position now. It's De Gruttler actually, 95. And as you say, Kyle, the numbers are so difficult to spot, but here we go. So De Gruttler then up into 3rd position. It's Italians 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 Italians in the top 6. Only the Spanish rider Orellana. He takes a long look over his shoulder. And Kyle, do you ever do that when you're riding? I mean, it's not something I ever did when I was racing. I was too blooming scared to look behind me. But do you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, and a lot of riders do, but I never look over my shoulder. I like to keep a track on the pit board who's behind me, but yeah, I never ever look over my shoulder. But that's just me. I think some riders do, some riders don't. I favour not to.
Absolutely, and before this race gets really hot, as we see 3 abreast further down the field.
Oriana going to first.
Absolutely, he's going to come straight back. Pechedu will kick straight back, and he does indeed.
He does do.
Underneath we go then, heading through to complete the first lap. And it's great that we now have the CBR 650. Carl, you've spent a bit of time riding this bike. What's it like to, I don't know, 2 in 1 into the final chicane. And I think, Kyle, first time in the box, this is what you can expect from the European Junior Cup. It's action all the way. Yeah,
exactly. It's action. And the new bike, the 650F, is there's a crash in the
we just saw, well spotted. We saw a sliding bike at the back of the field. I think we noticed it with the yellow flag. And let's just wait and see who it was that didn't come through. I've got a terrible feeling that it was actually, I think there's 2 or 3 gone down, because we seem to have lost Jamie Van Sickle, Doran Loureiro and Avalon Biddle. Along with we've got a number of riders. Number 8. And we've got a red flag. We have a red flag at the end of the opening lap. And you can see the oil on the circuit there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's oil or water, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, well, that is a shame indeed.
It's not oil.
Yeah, hopefully indeed. Okay, and we're getting notification here that it is oil on track, which is the reason for the fall. Jamie Van Sickle was there in the yellow leathers. He's conscious, looks to be a little bit winded, and again, hopefully he will be okay. Just let him get his breath back. The number 21 there, of course, Avalon Biddle. She's desperately trying to get the bike off the marshals, and it looks as though potentially her race may be over. But here we go. We're going to get a replay. Oh, and Van Sickle crashed all on his own, and other people behind, and oh, dear me. That's a strange one.
Yeah, that's you know, the last chicane's a little bit tricky. I crashed there last year, and you know, if it goes in too hot, you're going to land in the middle of the track, which that's what's happened. So it's a bit of an unlucky one. And luckily, nobody got hit by the other bikes. I think you were really lucky there. He did get hit actually, but not as bad as what he could have done for sure. So
no, absolutely. And Jamie Van Sickle, as I said, starting the season with 7 points, currently lying 15th in the championship. And the marshals doing a great job too. You can see them already sweeping away the debris at the side of the circuit. And of course, we will get a restart to this race. Over how many laps, I'm not sure. I expect it will be a reduced number of laps, but when we do get some more information, we will bring that to you. And yeah, unfortunately, we seem to have lost 5 of the runners and riders. The screens in the commentary box have been reset, so while we're waiting, Kai, let's talk a little bit, if we can, then about your day, because you've, talking of one crash from another, you kind of made a bit of hard work of it yourself today, running quite strong in the first part of World Supersport, and a little fall off, but you did regroup and you managed to salvage a point.
Yeah, only 1 point there.
One is better. One is better than none. So
yeah, one is better than none, that's for sure. But just a really difficult weekend for me, and I don't know, like, it's been funny. Last year the team dominated, and this year we've struggled, not only the Supersport side, but as well the Superbikes have struggled as well. But yeah, in warm-up this morning, I felt like it was my best session of all weekend. We'd done a bunch of changes to the bike and not managed to get to grips with it. For the race, the temperature was a little higher, and that doesn't help for grip. And that's the biggest problem I've had, just front end grip. And you know, I crashed in the race, lost the front. And then once I got back on, I managed to grab a point and regroup a little bit, but, you know, really difficult.
Yeah, we're seeing that on the screen. The riders coming back into pit lane. The number 3 there with the fluorescent green leathers is Sam Wilford, riding under the IDWE umbrella, and that's actually his father's business, electrical business in London. There we see they're mopping up the oil, and that should not take too long. As I say, a great team of marshals here, and at all of the World Superbike races. The number 84 on screen, and well, that is Paolo Gracia. He was running strongly, of course, at the front. Pachetti next to him, gesticulating. He wants to get things up and running and wants to get back out on track. He was certainly at the front of that one. Number 96, of course, as we've already said, Javier Orellana from Spain, the runner-up in last year's championship, and he is currently leading this year's series by 18 points, courtesy of those 2 victories. The first coming at Aragon in his homeland of Spain, and backing that up after a great fight. And there we go. That's the little character. And I mean, again, it's there as the minute he comes into the pit lane and the leathers. And I'm wondering whether he actually takes that with him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
I don't know. It's very, very strange. But
yeah, I don't know nobody who races with a teddy in the leathers. But you know, if it works for him, you know, he's on pole and we're leading then. So if it works for him, there's no reason why he can't do.
Yeah, he was very, very serious. I spend a lot of time with the young riders in the paddock, and went and had a chat with Emanuele on Thursday, and said to him, tell us a little bit about this little cuddly toy that you have. And I was kind of making a bit of a joke, and he was deadly serious. This is Sid, he says, and he pulled it out of his little helmet bag. So Sid it is, and if that works for him. Number 51 on screen, Matteo Cipretti, and we first saw Matteo last year, of course, at Misano as a wildcard rider. Dad there just about to put on the rear tyre warmer, and one of his team members just making a few changes to the front suspension. Matteo, a very polite young man, and running under the Cipretti Corsa team. You can see there on the leathers the team Cipretti Corse. Matteo finishing 6th in the opening 2 races to currently sit 6th overall in the championship with 20 points. So a solid start to the season for him. Another look then at the number 84. We can see in the background there the number 99 machine, and that is one of our female competitors, Anastasia Kovalenko from Estonia, and a very fast young lady. And as I said, she qualified in 29th position. She is currently in third position in the FIM Europe Women's European Cup. So a little lull in proceedings. If you, of course, are watching on TV and you've been watching all weekend, again, you can follow us on Twitter at WorldSBK. They've brought the tractors in now as well to maybe drag some of the bikes out of the way. But it looks as though the marshals have done a good job there without the need of that. Maybe this is actually going to clean it, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to be oil, because they seem to, you know, when it's oil, they usually put the cement dust onto it. And I don't know if it may be fuel or maybe even water. There's a few different fuels, liquids that are in the bike. And I think that's just like a road sweeper what's on the tractor, which is getting the gravel and sweeping the track. So, we'll see if it clears up for the race, because if they have to put cement dust down, it's not always good, because it's still a little bit slippery, and and it's not good for the races for sure.
Okay, so while we have a little in the proceedings, then let's have a look at the restart. And a great start it was for Puchetti. We see we see it from another angle, and he just dropped the clutch. Not much of a wheelie, unlike number 27 Guillaume Raymond, who did lift the front end of that machine. And again, going down then into the first series of turns, and it was the Italian rider Emanuele Puchetti that made a fantastic start on his machine. Everybody surprisingly made it through, and this was coming into the Variante Bassa chicane, a difficult chicane. You've got to get your braking right, and what a move by the young Italian. You could see the front end just hovering there, and he did well not to lose the front there, Kyle.
Yeah, it looked like he had a lot of chatter coming into the front, into the chicane, but obviously we were hard on the brakes, and he managed to hold the line, so that was a really good manoeuvre from him. There's a crash.
Absolutely, there we do see the falling rider, and you're right, actually, he did get hit.
He got hit, but it was so lucky to, it could have ended up a lot worse for him, I think.
Absolutely, and I think that's just a reflex. You see a bike coming towards you, your natural reaction is to put your hands up, and that's what he was doing. And unfortunate for poor Avalon Biddle, she got pushed straight off the side. I mean, as you said, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was super unlucky for Avalon because, she was looking to have another good race result, and she's a fast girl. I think it's good that Honda have put the female category in there for them, so get the females up and racing. It's really good.
Absolutely, and there we have Anastasia Kovalenko, a very, very fast young lady, as you said, running out of the Kallio Racing squad, and of course Mika Kallio racing in Moto 2. Vesa Kallio, whose brother runs a Superstock 600 team, running two very fast Finnish riders, Nikki Tooley, who unfortunately crashed yesterday, and Emily Larty, and it's a great professional team, and it's great to see a team like Kallio picking up one of the youngsters.
Yeah, I think, obviously somebody like Mika Kallio is a world-class rider, so it's good that they put effort into supporting the younger guys.
Absolutely. Okay, then we're getting notifications through the headsets then that we will have a pit lane opening at 15:27. Race start scheduled for 15:30 over a reduced lap number of 6. So to try and keep in line with the timings for the live feed, we should be going over 6 laps. Same distance as Superbike race 1. So we should see what happens when we get the restart. But what's it like, Carl? These guys now, they're all young, they're all hyped up, they want to do well. Certainly the guys at the front, they had no idea why the race was stopped. They were in their own race, they were in the zone. They've now had a good 10, 12, 13 minutes. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, well, usually, once you've had one start, you know where you're at for the next start, and usually when it's being stopped for the restart, you're not just as nervous because you've already sort of in the race mode, and I don't know, 6 laps is a little bit short, so anything can happen. It'll be definitely a bit of a dash for the cash, won't it? So it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. And one of the riders there, Mika Perez, and he's another one. He's kind of the equivalent of Stefan Hill, but from Spain, if you get me. He's quite a chirpy little chap, and quite a funny guy around the paddock. And he certainly was just wanting to get things going there, wasn't he? He wants to get back on track and get the 650 race underway.
Yeah, and he's a fast rider, and unfortunately he crashed in Assen. So I think this race he'll be looking to regroup and get a good result to be back into the championship title for sure.
Guillaume Raymond on screen then with the orange earplugs there, the very likeable, very unassuming, very shy young Frenchman, of course, raced the European Junior Cup a couple of years ago, went off into Superstock 600 last year and decided to come back, learnt his trade a little bit last year, came back into this championship and was one of the protagonists to really be favoured to run at the front, and he's been doing just that. I mean, he's currently 5th in the championship and struggled a little bit. I think he was a bit disappointed in the first race to only finish 7th, having of course been a front runner before, but he regrouped at Assen and finished 4th, and currently sits on 22 points, just 10 points behind Puchetti, who is 2nd in the championship, and that's great to see, isn't it? We've had over 29,500 fans here today, the biggest crowd by a huge margin for the last few years. I think sort of 13,000 more or so packing themselves into every grandstand that's available. And there's young Braden Hort with mum and dad as well. And well, you know, if you haven't got an umbrella girl with you, why not just get your mum to do it? Why not, eh? But great to see Kathy holding the brolly, and great to see Braden back. He's a bit of a daredevil, though. He passes the microphone over to dad, but Braden, very much a daredevil back in Canada. He's always snowboarding and skateboarding and doing all these crazy things, posting a lot on Facebook. And a shame for him, actually, to miss the first 2 races for an accident that had nothing to do with motorbikes.
Yeah, I think you know, it's a big part of the sport as injury, and you know, to get injured not doing the sport you do is very unfortunate. But you know, it's just the way life is. And,
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but you've just got to look. Have you ever seen a smile like that? This is the youngest rider in the championship, young Troy Bezuidenhout, with his mum Dion there and Charles. And I don't know if you could hear through the headset. He's shouting hi, Bianca. He's shouting hi to his sister, and into the blue diving, of course. And I mean, that's what it's about at this level, isn't it? 14 years of age. It's about learning your craft, and it's about having fun. Yeah,
definitely. I think all sport you need to keep it fun. No matter what level you're racing at, it needs to be fun. And more so in like the junior cup, there's a kid. Some people can make, you know, you need to take it serious, but if you take it too serious, you know, it's not good. I think it's like any sport, you just need to keep it fun all the time.
Absolutely. The number 69 machine on the screen there then, and that is Josh Harland, and poor guy's holding his own umbrella, so maybe needs to do something about that. And you see in the background, Troy's still dancing around, and
yeah, he's very eager, that's for sure.
He's very, very eager. Okay, Josh Harland then looking very relaxed, and of course Josh made a wildcard appearance a few years back in this championship when it was Kawasaki in Magny-Cours, and went on and won.
Yeah, Josh Harland is a fascinating, and in fact he's actually wearing my boots because you know, he's been dragging the toes on his boots a little bit, and he asked me yesterday if I could please lend him a pair of boots. I says, yeah,
I hope you gave him a good price.
It was a very good price, yeah.
There we go. Cheap.
He's a Yorkshire lad like me, so yeah. So he's good at getting stuff for free.
Absolutely. King of the freeloaders, that's no problem. I did try to subscribe to that society a few years ago, but I wasn't very good at it, so I kept getting charged double the price. Stefan Hill and my namesake, no relation, I will add, on the screen. That's a nice smile with his dad here at every round, and the little monkey, and that's quite an apt little caricature for him, isn't it? Little cheeky monkey in the paddock. The number 35, Stefan Hill, sponsored by Phoenix Microme, and of course A&A Lamb, who have been very, very synonymous with helping Cal Crutchlow in the past.
Yeah, I think it's very good that you know, you need the support and then financial support to be up there, so it's difficult.
Absolutely. We saw a couple of World Superbike's youngest fans there just playing in the grandstand. I think they've kind of left their mum and dad and gone exploring until the action continues. But a great day of racing here. 28 degrees it still is here at Imola. The sun has been beating down, and great to see so many people just still waiting to see this race. And of course, if you are at the Imola circuit, you can join me at the paddock show in the fan zone. For those of you that are watching on your mobile devices, I know that there are many of you watching on iPhones and many of you watching on iPads and other devices. The paddock show is scheduled to start at 15:45 in the paddock area, and I'll be on stage with my Italian colleague Lorenzo, and we've got all of the race winners, and again a great show for the fans here in the paddock, and again a shout out looking ahead to the next round while we see Daniel Drayton on the screen there, and Dan's been improving very much so this weekend, faster and faster in qualifying, 26th on the grid, so step by step he's getting there. But looking ahead, Kyle, to the next round of the championship, I know it's one that you're certainly keen for, certainly one that I'm looking forward for, the only UK round of the championship, Donington Park, and as we've seen at the European races this year already, we have the fan zone there as well. So this year the fan zone will be on the outside of the paddock, just near the Melbourne hairpin. I'll be on stage all weekend with various paddock shows and press conferences. We've actually got Ron Haslam on stage on Friday, which could always be good for a laugh.
Yeah, the Haslams, that'll be a laugh for sure, because the Haslams, both of them, a proper laugh, and you know, and hopefully Leon is fit for the race, because I heard he broke some ribs in the crash in the second race, so hopefully he's up and running for Donington, because we were doing so good in that second race, but you know, like I say, it's racing and the injury is the part of it.
Yeah, and again, for Leon, your heart goes out to him. He's had a couple of difficult seasons, thrown a lifeline really by the Aprilia Racing Red Devils team, and was having a solid season. And I guess the only thing there is good to see that there was nothing injured with the wrist. It looked when he fell that he was holding the wrist, and that seems to be okay. Of course, I'm sure there'll be various medical checks before we get to Donington, and hopefully he can be strong and come back strong at Donington Park. Because as well as you know, Kyle, it's a long championship, and I know Jonathan's got a bit of a commanding lead now, but anything can happen. You remember a few years ago the Edwards-Bayliss fight, and that went right down to the wire.
Yeah, I think it's like me today. I scored 1 point, which is the best I could do, which was not good. But, you know, championships are won and lost a lot of time by just 1 point. And like I say, it's a long championship and you need to make the most of it.
Absolutely, and there is one young man that will be very much wanting to make the most of it. The number 51 rider from Italy. As I said, on the starting grid we had 4 Italians in the top 6, and by the time we got to turn 2 we had 5 in the top 6. So only Javier Orellana was able to mix it in the early corners. Let's give you a rundown of the grid again then, just for those of you joining us. As I said, you can follow all of the action on our YouTube channel, WorldSBK. If you're at the circuits, I know there's a lot of fans coming to not just Donington, but the other events that we have, whether it be Misano, Jerez, Portimao, of course, we have coming up just 3 of the exciting races that will be happening in this year's World Superbike Championship. Send us your pictures, why not? We've gone social media crazy this year in World Superbike, and it's fantastic to see not just the riders but all the fans getting involved as well. So send us your pictures either to Twitter or to Instagram, WorldSBK. You can follow us on Facebook as well, WorldSBK, and of course we have WorldSBK.com, where you can see all of the races live. You can see all of the live timing, lots of exclusive content as well, lots of videos that myself, Steve Day and Greg Haynes are filming from the moment we arrive on track. And Kyle, we're often one of the 3 of us coming to pester you riders. I mean, but it's part of it, isn't it? I mean, that's part of what it's like, and from your point of view now with all the social media, it must be good to have that interaction with the fans.
Yeah, it's you know, like back in the day there wasn't nothing like social media, so you needed to wait for the magazines to come and interview you, and then wait until the next week magazine issue would come out. But you know, now with the social media, it's just instant. Anybody can get to see what you're doing, how your progress is throughout the weekend, and you know, it's just the way forward. And you know, I need to get people to follow it. It's really good.
Oh, absolutely, and as I said, we have Twitter as well. Follow us on Twitter at WorldSBK, and each of the rounds, do check out WorldSBK.com, because each of the rounds has its own unique hashtag. So anything that you're sending to us, it could even be a question. If you've got a question for one of the riders, not just in Superbike but in any of the riders new for this year in the paddock shows, is your opportunity to of course ask questions. So hashtag AskWorldSBK and send us your questions, and I will do my very best to put them to the riders during the weekend. Okay then, the green flag is waved, the pit lane is open, and we have the Honda CBR 650F machines back on the circuit. There's a nice little wheelie from Sam Wilford, puts down the visor. The number 26 of Victoria Kiss from Hungary, and one of the 3 lady competitors here this weekend. I will make a shout out actually to the number 9 rider, Laura Rodriguez from Switzerland, and Kyle, she's missed the last 2 races because she's got university exams, and she seems, well, I'm not sure I'd want to. I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? You want to concentrate on your studying, but you want to go racing, and she's made the decision to miss the last 2 rounds. She'll be back at Donington. Yeah,
it's really difficult because you know, even if you make it a professional bike race, it's not a long-term career, and studying is definitely, you know, it's got to be priority in everybody's life. And
you were any good at school? Were you any good?
I was really bad at school.
Were you?
Yeah. I don't know. I just
didn't gel with it, didn't want it? Just wanted to go racing motorbikes for a living?
I wasn't too interested in it. I liked shooting stuff with my slingshot and that.
Right, moving on then, ladies and gents. Let's move on. I went on to can of worms there, didn't I? I'm going to get myself shot if we keep talking like that. The number 54 going through the screen, then Haran Kabuch, and of course our thoughts go to of course Keenan Sofoglu. The press release earlier in the weekend about his little baby boy. And of our best wishes go to him for a speedy recovery. But Keenan, one of the riders, you race against Keenan, he is a hard rider, and sometimes in the press a little bit gets the wrong end of the stick, but he's actually quite a nice guy behind the scenes, and he's really taken an interest, not just here but also with young Toprak Razgat Lioglu, the young kid, the young rider in Superstock, and he's mentoring a lot of riders.
Yeah, I like Keenan, the fact that, you know, I've only raced with him for 4 races, and we've had some close races in Australia and in Thailand. We had some coming together and some good battling, and he's always been fair about it. And he's a hard rider, but he don't mind if you're hard back at him. So I like the way he rides for sure.
Okay, and one rider that is a very, very smooth rider, the number 27 again on screen, running with the shark helmet there, and the number 27 comes to the grid. The fast restart procedure, just to explain for the ladies and gents watching, as you can see, we don't have the grid girls, we don't have the umbrellas, we don't have all the tyre warmers. This is a fast restart, and the idea is really to keep the show moving. Yeah,
it's just the same as what happened in Superbike. There's only one mechanic who shows you to your grid position, and straight away start off again.
Okay, and again, of course, Carl, your first time commentating, but what a great spot we've got here. We're overlooking the last chicane. We can see the great big Decra Tower. We see the bridge there with the iconic Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. And for those of you just joining us here on WorldSBK, we can see the front two rows of the grid. Watch out for Puchedu. He was out of like a rocket. I mean, talking of shooting things, he was out of there like a bullet out of a gun, wasn't he, in the first one?
Yeah, he had a cracking start, and he didn't run wide in the first corner. He kept it all calm. So see if he can repeat. This is only a really short race now, so he has to keep it all under control. No room for mistake.
Absolutely. So as I said, then the quick restart. We're going to get one warm-up lap and then 6-lap race. And away we go then on the green flag lap. We see on screen there, we were talking about Haran Kabuc, and I'll be interested to see actually, I was just trying to look under the window, straining my neck to see there whether any of the riders actually made it back onto the track. We did see 5 riders involved in that. Doran Lorero was one of them, Avalon Biddle of course. I very much doubt that Jamie Van Sickles will be back on track. He looked to have taken a bit of a knock, but nevertheless was moving, was conscious, and I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay, because it wasn't his fault, and it's not good to be run into by a racing, moving fast bike. But it didn't look like it was so much of a bad injury, so hopefully he's not too bad injured.
Absolutely. So through the first few turns, talk to us if you can, Kyle. During this one, what's the circuit like to ride here? It's quite undulating, quite challenging.
Yeah, I think it's a really technical circuit, and it's all linked, it's all flowing, it's full of chicanes. Which chicanes, it's not all about how you enter, it's about how you exit. And like I've struggled all weekend with this track, and as well with the track temperature, it's really hot out there. I think it's about 30 degrees, and the track temperature's running on 50 degrees. And when it gets so hot, it gets like a greasy feeling with the tyres, and that makes it very difficult. And especially this track, there's a bunch of fast corners, and it's a track where you need to really have confidence in the front end. And the fact that the temperature is very high, that makes it a little bit complicated for some riders.
Yeah, and I was here, of course, arrived on Wednesday evening, as we do to most of the events, and spent a bit of time just walking around. And it's a beautiful setting, right in the middle of a park, and you certainly get the sense of speed, really, when you sort of emerge through the trees.
Yeah, it's a beautiful track, and it's in a beautiful spot, and in the old town of Imola, it's really nice, and it's funny. It's like in the middle of the town centre is the track, and and there's houses in the infield. It's a real cool situation. I think it's very unique.
Absolutely. You come in through, well, any of the entrances, but certainly through the paddock entrance. And as you said, there is actually like a residential housing estate literally on the other side of the fence. And even at 7 o'clock this morning, I was walking into the track this morning, quite early, of course, ready for the warm-up sessions. And you actually see people in the pyjamas and in the dressing gowns having a cup of coffee, just looking over, watching the warm-up. It's a great sense, and they love the racing here.
Yeah, and like when you crash and the scooter brings you back to the paddock, you go all around the town, and it's just full of crazy Italian fans, and it's very hectic, that's for sure.
Okay, then,
the track looked clean there, and it looked like the patch of fluid were dried up, so I don't think it was oil, because if not there'd be cement dust over there. So I think it may have been fuel or even water from the radiator.
Okay then, so the riders are forming up on the grid. The Alfa Romeo safety car moves in front then of the Acerbis banner. This is, of course, the Acerbis Italian round of World Superbike. The number 95 rider there coming to the grid. That's Giuseppe De Gruttola, his best qualifying of the season. 58. Rider then, of course, Emanuele Puchedu. And we wait to see what will happen. We watch for the lights. The man runs out of the way once again. Is Pochetto going to get 2 great starts? 6-lap race. Red lights are on, and it's go. The restart here, and again 27 lifts the front wheel, as does Pochetto. Cipretti, sorry, I'm getting so excited there as we got underway. But once again, Emanuele Pochetto is going to take the whole shot into turn 1 from his teammates. It's an Italian 1-2. Okay, then everybody once again safely through 3rd position. We wait for them to come through the split.
Sommer got a really good start.
I think you may be right there, and it's already Orellana up into 3rd again, and he's gone for exactly the same carbon copy of race 1. And well, that is incredible. And De Grutele will be looking to come back straight away. There may be teammates, but you can guarantee there's no team orders in this.
No, that's for sure. And I think Orellana is really confident when you look at him riding. You know, he sets off to win for sure. I think his mentality when he's on the line is super confident.
Absolutely, just looking for a way up the inside. In the back of the picture there was Guillaume Raymond, and he needs to work on his starts a little. Oh, we've already got somebody else down again. And oh, we were bigging her up and talk. It's commentator's curse, isn't it? It's we start talking about people and they go down. That's the young lady rider, Anastasia Kovalenko. Glad to see she's on her feet. We look on the screens then, and it looks like Pochetto in the lead. Again, he's coming into the chicane. There's De Grassi with one of those famous lunges on the inside. Does he make it? No, he thought the better of that, and that would have been a brave move if he'd have pulled that off.
Yeah, that's a difficult chicane. Very similar to the last chicane. It's very easy to run. It's good to outbrake, but so easy to outbrake yourself as well.
Absolutely. De Grassi then up the inside as we come down into the Rivazza. De Grutele looking on the inside of Orellana, the championship leader. He's in 3rd position. We're seeing on our screens then only 24 riders did take the restart, so unfortunately those 5 riders that were involved in the first race melee no longer taking part. I know that Avalon Biddle has a number of fans. We get regular tweets in from New Zealand. And up the inside with the bike doing all kinds of shapes there was De Grutele, and he's going to run wide. And 4th position then, and a tap on the seat from De Grassi. There's no point tapping your seat, Sunshine. There's no one behind you. You've got a bit of a gap. There's Orellana back up the inside, and they're already spreading out. Mika Perez then up into 6th position. Hannes Suma made a good start, obviously went back a little bit. He's back in 8th position. Haran Kabuc, great start for him. Not such a good start for Ilan Fernandez, back in 14th after starting from the 3rd, 4th row of the grid. Braden Ort from Canada made a great start, coming through the field from 25th, already up to 18th. And oh, Cipretti. Well, that's the young man that we saw looking very relaxed, and a technical problem for the young Italian. He's out of the running. Okay, back to the front we go, into the Tosa hairpin, and Pochetto has over 1 second. He looks behind him. I'm surprised at this car. This is very, very unusual for European Junior Cup racing. 5 laps to go then, over the hill into the left-hander, and then down we go again. De Grutele looking to make it 2 out of 2 for the team that is the leading riders team, of course, which is the SK and Itaba Moto. Giuseppe De Grutele joined that team at the last round, and for this round and for the rest of the season they will be fielding the 2 riders. And again, Carl, you don't have that luxury, a one-man team for you this year in World Supersport.
Yeah, I think you know, sometimes it's good to have a teammate to work off. If you've got some problems, you can come to some conclusion with your teammate. But you know, I'm all on my own this year. Although we've got a lot of data from Michael last year, which you know, as a world champion, it's really good data to have. But yeah, I got a lot of attention. That's good.
Absolutely, leg trailing then. And again, we're talking about social media being something new, but this leg dangle, or the doctor's dangle that they call it, even these young kids are doing it. I mean, what does it actually work?
Well, it must work because all fast riders do it, but I can't get my foot off. I'm very classic style. I keep my legs on there. I've never tried it. I don't know exactly what it's for. But you know, all the fast riders do it, so I might have to start doing it.
Why not?
I might give it a try in Donington.
Well, you certainly had a leg dangle into the Tosa in your race to try and avoid the crash, but let's leave that behind us and focus on the European Junior Cup, the PATA European Junior Cup, incorporating the FIM Europe Women's European Cup. And well, I mean, It seems a bit of a strange thing to say, but with all of the crashes that have been happening with our ladies, the lead lady rider is from Hungary for the H-Moto team, number 26, Vittoria Kiss, and she was victorious last time out, and she's going to open up a 24-point lead in the championship.
Look, Oriano is looking up the inside there to make a move. I think Presedu is, seems like he's checking out. He's got the fastest lap of the race, and you know, he's been fast all weekend.
He has indeed another new lap record, 2-minute 2.874 then on the second lap for Emanuele Presedu, the rider that is currently second in the championship. And if we were to put the flag out now, he would close to within 6 points of Orellana. Orellana needs to get a move on. He needs to try and regroup a little bit. I think any chance of catching Emanuele at this stage are possibly over. The gap to Orellana over 4 seconds now. And, well, I mean, this is a great performance from the Italian rider. Nice and smooth on the brakes. Unlike his teammate who has the bike squirreling. Up the inside goes Raymond, the French rider, up into 4th. And, oh, a little twitch. And we saw that happen in Superstock yesterday with quite serious consequences with Paul Michael Ruben Rinaldi crashing out. But Orellana goes back another place.
It looks like it's going to be a good fight for the last spot on the podium. It looks like they're bunching up there a little bit. And Oriana obviously won the first 2 races, and I think super important for him just to keep it up on 2 wheels, and you know, still a few races left in the championship. As Presedu, I think you know, looks like he's checked out, and there's only 4 laps to go.
There is indeed then coming through then to complete the 3rd lap. 3 to go, half race distance. Everybody's still up and on. Perez had a bit of a moment there. Hanasuma seems to have regrouped. He's now caught the group. He's up into 8th, just behind Doran Laville, the number 59 rider. Laville having a great debut season. And again, 22 runners at the moment. Running currently, the last point scorer is Stefan Hill, and he's in a great fight with Thomas Cassano and Troy Bezuidenhout. The 3 of them locked together as they come over the line. 1/10 of a second separating the 3 of those. Harun Kabuc from Turkey, the number 54 rider, the same number as his mentor, the current leader of World Supersport, Kenan Sofuoglu, and he is in 10th, by far his best showing of the season for the young Turkish rider. Sam Wilford, number 3, he's regrouped and getting faster and faster all the time. Now into the 2-minute 4s. He's just passed Josh Harland, the number 69 rider, who is in 13th. Up the hill we go then, and Orellana responds. And can he fend off? And Orellana looking a little bit steady, and again a little bit wild, and a little bit wider. You get the feeling that Perez is just biding his time.
Yeah, I think it looks like Oriana's having some little bit slides out of corners. See there, he's sparking. I think looks like he's losing a little bit of rear grip. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see the bunching up here for, you know, 3 laps to go, and it's all for the last spot on the podium. So.
As we can see there in 17th, Braden Ort from Canada locked in a great scrap, and all the way down the field there we see Victoria Kiss, number 21, but a great scrap going on between Dimitris Karakostas from Greece and of course brother Nikos in the field as well. And Nikos, the number 97, running in 22nd at the moment. Brother Dimitris in 18th. So there are chances of a couple of points for the young Greek riders, and that would be a first for the championship. He's up the inside into the final chicane. He's got to get that stopped, and he does. Yeah, that was a great move. And again,
he gets a lot of chatter, same as in the first outing, but he's really good on the brakes, really strong there.
Once again, another fastest lap as Presedu extends the lead, then 3.4 seconds now. And this is a masterful performance from young Emanuele. And again, if Sid is inside his leathers, he's having the ride of his life.
Yeah, and he's 3.4 seconds ahead now, and there's only 2 laps to go. So as long as he don't make no mistakes, I think that's done for him, the win. But you know, this is the battle for the 2nd position. Oriana, who's won the last 2 races, is in there, so you know he definitely knows how to win races.
Does indeed. Presedu then up the hill out of the Tosa hairpin. When they come round, they'll be starting the final lap. Number 84 then in 2nd position. He was 2nd in the opening race, only 8th at Assen, but 2nd at Aragon was Paolo Gracia. He was a wild card at a couple of races, did most of the end of the season last year, actually, the young Italian, and a bit of a wiggle on from Presedu through the Acqua Minerale over the curb, but he's not using the curb. He's very smooth. He's as we go through into the final lap.
Breakdown there. This is Mika Perez.
It is indeed Mika Perez.
It looks like it's overheating the bike. It looks like there's steam there, so it's unusual.
It is unusual, and he's dropped it. Yeah, and give it a bit of a kick to boot. Well, that's an unfortunate. It is a shame indeed. So another one is out, and let's see as we come through then to start the final lap. Then, so just around 2 minutes and 3 seconds between him and the victory, the first of his European Junior Cup career, the PATA European Junior Cup, powered by Honda, the 650 machines, and we will of course be bringing you the race up until the checkered flag, and then of course I have to leave and go off to the paddock show. Of course we have all of the riders and winners, and Orellana then up the inside, and Orellana then that's for third position, so it could be a podium salvage for the young Spanish rider. Then halfway through, a quarter of the way round, then the first lap, the first part of the circuit, De Gracia, and again round the outside, Orellana.
Oh, he lost the front there a little bit.
He did, and they're all trying very, very hard. The battle of the Brits then, 10th, 11th and 12th for Wilford, Harland and Hill as we go through. And here we are then, halfway around. He takes a long look behind him.
It's a flawless race from Procedo, eh?
Absolutely a flawless race. And while we see these riders through, Kyle, I want to say, of course, thank you very much for joining us in the box, because we will have to cut short the commentary. We will still be bringing you the live pictures of the podium celebrations, but of course we'll be ending the actual commentary once we get all point scorers across the line. So, Kyle, thank you very much for joining us. I hope that it has been a pleasant experience in the commentary box.
Yeah, it's been a new experience, and thanks for having me.
A pleasure, an absolute pleasure, and of course I wish you very well for the upcoming Supersport races when we get to Donington, and I'm sure for those of you going to Donington, bring your Union Jacks and give Carl some support. Okay, then we're coming through then, just 3 corners away from what will be a very emotional victory for the young Italian rider. He comes down into Rivazza. It looks as though Orellana is regrouping and could possibly salvage second position, and if he does snatch second, that would be great damage limitation for the youngster from Spain, the winner of the first 2 rounds. But we're coming into the final chicane, and well, this will be a very, very emotional and popular winner. He goes left over the curve, he goes right. The grandstand here in front of us is on their feet. It's an Italian winner of the Italian round of the PATA European Junior Cup. And there we go then, the win for Procedo. Gracia takes second, the second position of the season for him. Orellana does indeed salvage third, de Grutela in fourth, Guillaume Raymond classified ahead of his compatriot from France, Doran Leville. Ilan Fernandez regroups to 7th ahead of Alfonso Coppola, Harren Kabuc. Wilford gets the better of the British fight between Josh Harland and Stefan Hill. Thomas Cassano in 13th. Troy Bazin, who all that dancing paid off. He scored 2 points, his best result of the season, and in 15th position. What about it? The very first point for a Greek rider in the PATA European Junior Cup. Young Karakostas there, Dimitris Karakostas, edging out Braden Ort for the final point. As I said, we're going to leave you now with the commentary. This live streaming will be coming through. You will see, of course, the classification. You will see, of course, the podium celebrations. But on behalf of Kyle Smith and myself, thank you for watching the PATA European Junior Cup. We'll see you again at Donington Park.
Finito, ¿no?
Va bien, bien. Y porque no le he echado huevos y me he metido ahí, te lo digo.
Lo que pasa es que nos han quitado la pantalla, tío.
Está un poquitín, no me entran, tío. En quinta metiéndose esta... Está bien, me he salvado los muebles. Pensaba que era chica.
Ma che belli sorpassi. Qual è?
Ma dimmi una cosa, perché mentre state tutti perché?
Perché non te ne arrivo.
Quando ti preso il distacco?
Tutti! Dai, cazzo! Cazzo!
Grande Pusci. Addirittura stavi togliendo gli adesivi.
No, glielo faccio
Lo mettiamo qua.
Dai, cazzo!
Lo attacchiamo qua.
Sì, con loro hai perso tempo e quello lì se n'è andato perché c'erano gli stessi tempi.
No, solo all'uscita della qua, quando appena prendi il casimano tende sempre a partire.
Però era controllato, sai che
Sì, sì, no, era controllato.
era graduale.
Di là doveva...
Siamo prontissimi quindi per le premiazioni, aspettiamo che la protagonista in rosa della European Union Cup, vi ricordo che sarà Remo Goppi, titolare di Sparta, qua con noi per premiare i protagonisti. Si lamentava che questo weekend è la prima volta che viene sul podio, qui però almeno tutto colore Sparta, Sì, tutto bene ragazzi, visto che ha fatto una bella gara questi ragazzi sul podio. Veramente combattuta, la moto almeno comunque il rumore è un po' diverso dall'anno scorso, è meglio, è più pieno il 4 cilindri della CBR 650S effettivamente. Allora attenzione perché aspettiamo la sesta femminile, la Rai ungherese che noi accoglieremo con un grande applauso, protagonista della classifica femminile, quindi con un grande applauso facciamo accomodare appena saremo pronti la grintorsissima
One moment. First place. Here. The left side? The left side.
Yeah, just
Third
here.
place. Left side in one step. Yeah. Okay.
Allora siamo pronti, Cartolina sul podio